Howdy do, horror fans, and welcome to The Good, the Bad, and the Scary. I'm John, and today we're going to be looking at 1989's electrifying horror film, Shocker. Shocker is an entertaining film. It's fun, it has a very surreal sort of feeling to it, which shouldn't come as a surprise because the film was written and directed by Wes Craven. Shocker is the story of a deranged serial killer, Horace Pinker.
His name is Horace Pinker, a virtual phantom until yesterday. He was described for this police drawing.
Who has a very strange psychic connection to a young man by the name of Jonathan Parker.
Jonathan, are you okay?
What happened?
This strange psychic ability allows Jonathan Parker to have a premonition of where Horace Pinker will go next and who he intends to murder.
I dreamt of the murders, Dad. Just the way they happened.
Right at the beginning of the film, we see Jonathan witnessing his own foster family's death.
Jonathan, help us!
Jonathan is then able to alert his father, who happens to be a police lieutenant.
I bet I can take you to where he works.
All right, you tell me, I'll check it out.
No.
And enables them to catch Horace Pinker for good. Horace is then sentenced to the electric chair. But things go wrong, as they normally do. Horace Pinker then gains the ability to transfer bodies with other people.
I feel like a little head sport.
And when he gets a bit bored of just transferring bodies, he then zaps his body into a television signal. Without further ado, let's check out the good of the film.
Hey, what are you doing? Are you crazy?
One thing that I personally enjoyed and appreciated about the film was that it's a comedic horror film, or a horrific comedic film. Either way, the film is really quite entertaining.
I have a mild concussion, Jonathan. You want to see the doctor?
Nah, I'm okay, Pac-Man. I'm all right.
Another good point I would say is that the portrayal of Horace Pinker is done very, very well. He comes across as quite an intense psychopath.
Watch this.
You don't expect him to have any shred of mercy.
Wanna play in this game, boy?
I also liked that the killer was able to transfer bodies at one point because it elevated some of the horror and at the same time equally elevated the comedic aspects.
Gonna rip your lungs out, you son of a bitch.
To me, that was a nice blend of the comedy and the horror.
Why don't you just calm down and shoot?
And if I had to add one last good point, I would say that I enjoyed the soundtrack. A little bit of metal goes a long way. Now on to the bad of the film. The film can feel a little bit disjointed at some times. Of course, I enjoy the surreal.
Who the hell's that guy?
Do what your father asked. Roll up the window.
And I enjoy the dreamlike qualities that are portrayed in this film.
I'm so cold, John. You're gonna go down.
But in some aspects, there's a tug of war in the narrative or the focus.
Think about it, Pinker.
Not to say that those elements were not enjoyable, because they were, but I felt that their integration could have been done a little bit better. So I'm not sure if this is particularly a bad point, but at one time in the film, things started to just get a little bit silly. And it wasn't exactly the comedic aspect anymore, nor the horror. It was just this weird sort of silly area, which I guess was trying to be playful and everything. So for the scary of the film.
Keep dreaming, Lieutenant.
It's not particularly scary. I think because it's a comedy film and it gets a little bit silly, it just distracts or takes away from that edge that could have been scary. But what I think Wes Craven was trying to scare the audiences with was more so something coming out of your television. Maybe he was trying to make a point about TV, movie violence. I'm not quite sure. But I think what did come across a little bit scary was that Horace Pinker is nearly impossible to stop.
Go ahead. Do it. You know you want to do it. Go ahead.
But even while he's in jail and he's sentenced to the electric chair, he finds a way of escaping and becoming even more powerful. Shocker as a film is quite entertaining. If I had to give it a rating, I would say it's a good film. I mean, it's not like a great film, but it's definitely a good film.
That's more like it, Jonathan. That's concentration. That's using your will and your head.
So what makes it a good film is its characters, its story, the soundtrack that is a bit funny, and some of the campiness is fun as well.
The red-crested nuthatch is one of the largest arboreals found in the British.
As always, thank you for tuning in. Thank you for watching this video. If you enjoyed it, please click the like. Okay, so until next time, I'll be seeing ya.